Alright, sup world? Peace to my niggas. Alright, so just want to do this crash course in astrology because I feel like this is some important stuff and people need to understand and learn more about astrology before they get behind the curve because this shit is stuff that everybody um, needs to know and should learn. Alright, so for this lesson today, I want to focus on the four elements of astrology, being your earth, your fire, your air, and your water signs. All right. So, pretty much your earth and air signs will form your left brain because there will be your left brain thinkers, and your fire and water sign will be your right brain thinkers. All right, so the yang and the yin, left brain being yang, right brain being yin. All right, so under the left brain we have your earth and air. Okay, the earth being the feminine side of it, your yin side of the left brain, and right brain being your yang side of the left brain or your masculine side. All right, so let's just start off by going over the earth signs, being your Tauruses, your Virgos, and your Capricorns. All right, so these people, how they get information and what they get, how they take in information is that they like to think about things and come to practical conclusions about things. All right, so the information or the information they get from others or the society or people, they see how it makes sense to them. All right, so they like to take it in, think about it, and figure out how how it makes sense to them, and then like to before they push it out, before they um, voice their opinions about it. All right, so you catch a lot of earth signs being very like still and steady. They'll be slow to action. So they're like because they like to think about things before taking action on it. All right. So the ideas that they get, it has to be an idea that they could bring to reality. All right, they could bring to life. All right, so they don't get ideas and just act on it. Has to be something that they feel will make sense in reality, will make sense to the world. Will they could something tangible, something that they could act on, something that they could show. All right, so um, yeah, like I said, everything all the information they get, like to think about it first, and so you won't catch a lot of earth signs acting before they think about things. All right, everything that they act on, it'll be something that they've been thinking about for a while. All right, so that will be your earth signs, and that will be your yin part of the left brain. So let's move on to the yang part of the left brain being your air signs. All right, so the air signs, similar to the earth signs, they like to the information that they get, they like to think about it, but except they like to come to logical conclusions about it. All right, so with the air signs, what they do with the information they get, they rather bounce ideas around because they're more communicative people. These people like to talk. They're more sociable. So when they get ideas, they rather bounce ideas around from people to people, talk about it, and come to logical conclusions about it. See how it makes sense. They're very fair-minded people, so they rather go with what makes sense to society or to them before rather than going off their emotions. All right, so they're very logical. They go off their intuition a lot, and yeah, they go over. They would rather go with their thoughts and ideas over emotional needs. All right, so these would be your air signs. They love to communicate and they love to make sense with their communications. All right, so like I said, these people um, like to be logical, like the earth signs, but except they are more communicative than the earth signs. All right, so that will be your left brain thinkers and how they um, take in information and how they bring out information. All right, so that's how they are. All right, so let's move to the right brain side of things. Well, your air signs, don't forget, will be your Geminis, your Libras, and your Aquariuses. So these are the signs that are thinkers and more communicative and more logical people. All right, so now let's go to the right brainers, being your fire and your water signs. All right, so these are your right brainers. And with these people, they like to feel. They like to go off their how they feel about things. All right, so let's start with the fire signs, being your Aries, your Leos, and your Sagittariuses. All right, so these people, when they get information, they like to see how they feel about it, and then they like to um, go off how they see about it. Like go off their vision, how they visualize the information they're getting. All right, and then that's how they act on. They act on their visions. They act on what they see. All right, so they're very inspirational people because of that. Because they with how they feel, they act on it. That makes them very bold people. All right, so they're gonna act on things before they sit down and think about it. And like the Earth sign, they're not gonna sit there and think about it all day. They're gonna like to act on it. So that makes them bold, sometimes brave. But could be self-indulged because they don't think too much about it. But they're very passionate up because of that, and they go off their perception a lot, because of how they see things, how they feel about it. So that's how they're gonna act on things, however they feel and however they see it. All right, so that'll be your fire signs. That's how they are, and your water signs, being similar to water signs being similar to the fire signs. They just water signs, they go off their emotions more. Okay, so they act off their emotions. All right, so water signs being your Cancers, Scorpios, and your Pisces. The information they get, or from what they respond to as how their emotions tell them about people, or the information they get. All right, so they're very like they take shape and form of things. They go a lot off vibes. All right, because they pick up on vibes very good. All right, so however others make them feel emotionally, it's how they treat them. It's how they act on them. That's how they act on things, or how they go about with their relationship with them. Just how they make them feel emotionally. All right. So these people tend to be moody a lot, because that's however they feel, however their whatever state their emotions are in is how they act. Is whatever mood they're in really. So they tend to be moody people, because if their emotions are down one day, then they're gonna be down that day, because that's just how they feel at that point in time. So yeah, so you could tend to see them being passive aggressive as well, because they may not be in a good mood, and they may see others in a good mood. So or um, or you may not be understanding of what their emotional state, so they might be passive aggressive because of that. All right, so that's how the water signs are. Um, if you somebody that make them feel good emotionally, they'll have your back forever, pretty much. So they go off their emotions a lot, and they act on how they feel, like the um, fire signs. So that'll be your right brainers, fire and water. A little fun fact is that a lot of the right brain people tend to be left-handers. All right, so that's a lot of left-handed people are either fire and water signs, because the right brain controls the left side of the body. So you'll catch a lot of fire and water signs being being left-handed people. All right, so that's a little fun fact. So to summarize it, fire and water signs go off their feelings and emotions. Earth and air signs go off what makes sense and logical things. All right, so um, that's the main difference between them. Um, earth and air signs, they're not emotional people. All right, so they're gonna go with logic before emotions. All right, that will make sense. All right, so as far as relationships and friendships goes, I tend to feel personally that the yin and yang, opposites attract, will always be better in relationships. So the earth and fire, earth and air signs, or water, air, water, fire, be better in relationships. Um, as far as friendships goes, then because the yin and yin, or yang and yang, probably good and better in friendships than they are in relationships, because they tend to clash a lot, um, just because they have the same aspect, feminine, but I mean, they could work. Everybody's different, but I tend to notice that opposites attract, and they are better for relationships. All right, so that's a little overview of the four elements. All right, so this will give you a broad understanding. If you have no clue about astrology, this probably taught you a lot. Um, but I'm sure this. But every sign is different, so you should definitely learn more about every sign. But at least this will give you a broad understanding of it. Just in case you were just completely clueless about astrology, this is a good start for you. All right, so um, yeah, hope you learn a lot from this, and you should learn more. Pretty much. Peace.